Hey everybody. Welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And today this is gonna be an interesting play. This is not something that you usually expect or something that I would regularly do on the channel. However, it was really cool for one of our own in the community to take it upon themselves to right a wrong. I guess that's the best way to say it. Or let's just say put in a stopgap to begin to right a wrong, if that's how it is. It's a puzzle, Mike. It's a puzzle. I fooled you all. No. It is Vaporware Dock, and so I want to get into that, and I want to talk about it and kind of explain how we got to this point before we play the game. Because I think Tiny, who's in the chat, Fred, that he deserves a lot of credit for me even streaming this right now. And to be honest, if it was anybody else, I probably would be like, yeah, it isn't going to work. But because of the work he did and the conversations that he had, it stepped. So there's a lot to go through for this game. There's a lot to talk, and I'm not even talking about gameplay. Gameplay is like the lightest part. How we got to gameplay is truly amazing. It shows the beauty and the dedication of this community. The love that this community shows to each other, and the reason why I'm playing it here. So there's a lot to get into. Let me see. Where are we? Doc, what's going on? Tiny, what's going on? Welcome. Jess, hello. Mike, what's going on? Elaine, how's it going? So we've got a lot to get into and unpack here today. And so we need to get into that. But before we do that, I can already feel the temperature of the heat lamps rising to a ridiculous level. So let me freeze myself out a little bit so that we can play this game without interruption. All right, cool. So before we get on, I want to say thank you to my patrons, my YouTube subscribers, and if you're neither, thank you and welcome as well. There's like I said, if you're just jumping on now, there's a lot to get into. So let's get some information. We'll get down to the table, and then we'll walk through the entire steps of how we got to this game being where it is. Okay, and I'm going to rant. I am really gonna rant on this one, so buckle up. So here we go. All right. Ooh, that is not where I was supposed to go. I was supposed to not Darkest Dungeon. I can rant about that. Nope, we're gonna talk about this game. I didn't put up a BGG thing of it only because I don't think it deserves that for what happened. So let's get into a little bit of description. I know you can see the stuff behind it, but let's get into a little bit of description and some backstory before we get into it. So around let's see, the last update was 2021, but what I care about is the updates when this game fun. Let's slow down. All this stuff we're going to talk about. All this stuff. This is what really made it really crappy. Look at all this. Oh, this makes me mad just seeing it. Let's go down. Here we go. So March 25th of 2019, this game funded, which means the Kickstarter started 30 days prior, right? Now, this company called Wreck Havoc Games, which is one person, and we'll go up here to deal with it. So Wreck Havoc Games, all 5 updates since finding. I know, right? So this game came on Kickstarter twice. First time it came on Kickstarter, it was canceled by Kickstarter because it was really fishy about how they were doing their practice. Really fishy. And as you can see, the last update of this came in on March 6, 2019. Kickstarter itself canceled this. Not a lot of people knew about it because it was an unknown company that never made anything. And it was lower on the totem pole, it came out of Canada, and it was lower on the totem pole of kind of what people know how to do. So, but Kickstarter was like, this is funky, this is weird. Nah. So they canceled it. Even after it said it funded for $32,000, they canceled. Remember, then they came back the very same year and made their second campaign, which a lot of people did get some eyesight on to see. And of that, let's see, how much money did they make? They made $63,708 Canadian, which I think if you do funding is about like 47-ish thousand USD. Convert to euro, however you may please, probably more money than that. But they made a decent amount of money with a lot of backers backing them, and they also made late pledge backing because they opened up late pledge and they left late pledge open for years. So people who didn't know and who didn't do their research came in and saw this game. So what followed after they did was these updates that came in. These updates that flowed through. So people were like, okay, well, that's cool. You backed. We trusted you with our money, and we wanted to see what's going on. And I'm going to go down here to after it funded. Here we go. So we got this. Oh, wow. Thanks for your support. 707% funded. Unbelievable. What's next? The pledge manager is going to be coming in. People are going to mess with it. And then they're like, okay, for these Colonial Supernova level backers, so these are the different pledges that they had, we're going to have this, we're going to show you these pictures. We're going to show you these pictures. We're going to have these contests that are going to be coming for whatever you want to add onto it. We're going to have these contests of where you create the art and you write your own story that's part of Captain Otani's story. That's going to be incredible. And then people started saying, hey, where are your timelines? Well, we're waiting on this last piece of art to come through, and then we'll be able to give timelines when we submit stuff. Okay, cool. A year goes by. We haven't heard from you. What are your timelines? Well, we're waiting on this last piece of one more illustration down, 2 to go. 2019 it funded. 2019. One more illustration down, artwork. 2 to go. And here on February 11, 2021, they're talking about they got 2 more pieces of art left before it's going to come through. May comes around. Oh, look, we're heading into manufacturing in June. So we're going to be, heading into manufacturing. This is the board game you don't want to play alone. June 2021. It's all artwork is done. It's going to be heading into, this is the final stuff that we're going to be going into. We're ready to go. Here is our projected timelines of how things will come out. Same May. Nothing. We jump to the same May. More pre-press stuff. June 2021. Nothing about delivery. June 11th, no update. June 20th, no update. July 1st, the last time they talked, no update on delivery. Here's what the box is going to look like. Meanwhile, in the comments, people are saying, the backers who trust them are saying, where's our game? We sent you, you took our money and run. You betrayed us. What's going on? We need an update. Where's our stuff? What's the timeline? You said you were going to be sending to production. You're a liar. And what ended up happening is this person who did Wreck Havoc Games kept just lying, kept just doing these updates that amounted to nothing. I backed this game. I late backed this game. And I was taken because it was, after all this, everybody, even today, if we go to the comments section, even today, I think Fred's is probably the latest one that's on here, which got a lot of stuff. You get a lot of people always coming back because they wanted to believe in the project. They don't want to be taken advantage of. They don't want to be afraid. And that's kind of how the community works, is that it works on trust. It works on, and everybody knows that Kickstarter is not a medium for you to trust that, oh, okay, we do Kickstarter, we're not going to get screwed. That's not what it is. It's more we trust that devs come to this platform with a almost done idea, and we put our faith in them. Say, we trust your idea, we trust you, you're part of us. Let us help you out and let us do this. And we got nothing. This person took off. No comments in here. Nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. And so backers felt betrayed, and people were like, what the hell? Until Tiny, who was in the chat, reached out to me and he said, hey, I got had on this too. They did release a print and play on Board Game Geek. So if we go to Board Game Geek, what do you think the rating on Board Game Geek for this game is? But if we go to Board Game Geek and we do BG Ghost Star, and we go to Ghost Star Board Game, of course it's a 1.5. But what this dev did, Brandon Liang, or North or whoever, what they did was they released this print and play light. Why did they call it light? Right? Because it means that it didn't have everything that was going to be in the game, but it had enough of the game to play. So they released this Ghost Star print and play light, which was this half done, not complete, but almost complete game. It had some of the rooms, the symbols were fixed, it had everything on there. No art on the cards, but the cards mechanics were fully worked out. The missions are all there, which is set in here. All this different stuff that we're going to go through when we play is all in here. And the monster, everything is here except for art on the cards. The game was damn near done except for the art on the card and a little bit of balancing that needed to happen. Little bit, but it was most of the way there. I mean, you even had the player board, you had the rules, you had everything set up the way that it was going to deliver. It just needed to get across the finish line, which means all this dev had to do was just get the thing produced, and then it was done. It was a done game. And now a lot of people will say, well, it wasn't a done game. There's still a lot of things. It's not the greatest game. However, it's a pretty decent game for what it is. So cheers to Tiny, who's in chat, who contacted me and said, hey, I'm tired of arguing about this thing. I'm gonna do something about it. And so what Tiny did was he printed off the print and play. He went on looking around the Kickstarter page, looking for the art that they had, looking at the print and play, and then he spent his own money to get the game printed on these really these are really nice cards, Tiny, that you did, and a board to put things on that he just laid out from the designs that the dev did. And then he said, hey, I'm going to send it to you. He played it a bunch, tried it out. He was like, this game's pretty decent. It was almost done. I don't know why they didn't finish it off. It was there. And he sent it to me, and he was like, hey, can you try this out? I was like, yeah, man, you did such a great work. I'm going to give you a shout out, and I'm going to play it on stream because of the dedication you did. And to show you how awesome Fred is, Fred even went ahead and he said, here are all the files, which if you look in the description below, I've linked to all the files in there, plus he put the cost of how much everything cost in percent. And that is in the description below as a link that he put there, that he built up so that you can take this stuff and get it printed for free and do it. So it doesn't impede this. I got a lot of questions of people being like, well, don't you feel that this is kind of unethical? No, because it's the dev's print and play material. It's the dev put it out as print and play material. The only thing that Tiny did was he finished off the art on the cards that was there already. He didn't change up any rules. Well, he added a variant, but he didn't change up any rules. He didn't shift any abilities. He didn't repurpose anything. He like he said, it was 95% complete. he did the other 5%. And then he put it out on put it out to the community for free. You want the game, you backed it, you wanted to play it, here it is. Done and done. Now, people who play the game will probably be like, well, I didn't like it that much anyway. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is you are getting a game that you got scammed out of, that I got scammed out of. And it's only because the community decided to do something about it instead of complain. And one of those members of Tiny Chat, which, big on you, man. I mean, I think that's freaking amazing that you did that. So the reason why I'm playing this today is because someone decided to do something about it. And they did a fantastic job investing their own resources, their own time, so that you can have this game and play it and not feel like you've been ripped off. So I give big congratulations to you, Fred, for doing what you did, and I really appreciate it. So for people who are like, I backed this game, I got scammed, it is vaporware. It's vaporware. However, because of Fred, it's no longer vaporware. You can grab this. It's in the description below. You can grab those files. You can print them out, and you can play this game like you were supposed to for the money that you paid. So thank you so much, Fred. Anyway, that's the long road of how we got to this game. So thank your neighborhood Fred for being amazing and doing what he and doing us a solid in terms of getting us something that somebody who spent the time to play a game and then scammed you out of your money. They got your money. That's just how it is. But at least you have it. You now have a game out of it. Thanks. Okay. That was really long-winded. But my rant on this stuff is that this is why you have to do your research. This game here is exactly, and you'll watch this game. Some of you may like it, some of you will hate it, but this is the reason why you have to do your research. Because of stuff like this. If I would have done my research, I backed this game when I first got into board gaming. So I was new, I had the FOMO, well, I still have it, but I had the FOMO worse. And I look back at other stuff. I was like, oh, this looks cool, back it. This looks cool, back it. This looks cool, back it. I had the Kickstarter craze because this was my first foray into board gaming. And so this was one of the ones that got me because I didn't do proper enough research on it. Now, if I had, I would have known that, it was a learning experience. I would have known that Kickstarter canceled the campaign because they said something was fishy, and I'd have never touched it again. I'd have walked away, don't even look back. Go to Come On and back something from over there, right? So this was a learning experience for me in terms of why I have to do my research on Kickstarters. There's another game that's out there today that has raised this very same alarm for me, but I don't want to, so it just raised the alarm, so I'm not gonna dig in on it. But as soon as I paid attention to the things that I saw in this and that, I was like, yeah, no. And I just closed the screen and moved away. But yeah, now you can make your own game, Tiny. You know you can. I know, right, Mike? But that's how he stayed legal and not get in trouble. And how this is being professed is not that this is a game. This is a full, complete game. This is the print and play light that you can play until the scumbag delivers your game. So it's all above board. It is not illegal. It is not. It is not. You won't get in trouble. It's the print and play. The dev put it out there. Till the dev says he doesn't want to do it anymore. Free for you to take. So, all right. Let's get in the Ghost Star and let's talk about how this stuff's going on. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Tiny for doing. I think this is incredible. He printed this board out with his own money. He printed these cards out. He got these cubes that we're going to be using to play through the game, and we're going to dive into what this is. All right. Ghost Star, Remnant Souls, what it boils down to is there's a story that I'm going to read for you right here that basically outlines what we're doing, why we're doing it. Which the story is in, but it still segues into what you're doing. So it says the remnants of a supernova is called a ghost star. This ghost star was so massive that it sucked in an incredible amount of matter, including entire planets. The loss of life was so severe that remnants of the myriad lost souls manifested in our reality amongst the remains of a space station. This manifestation caused the station to function as a dimensional gate to other planes of existence. A powerful entity known as the Gatekeeper guards this passage between planes. Captain Meg Otani and her crew embarked on a voyage to this once unreachable ghost star, only to encounter this ominous space station. Her protocols instructed her to investigate and attempt to contact the seemingly dead station, while her crew made their preliminary scan. Captain Otani received a terrifying vision from the Gatekeeper. Despite the horror of this vision and its potential impact to her crew, she decided to sneak away from her ship in order to confront the mysterious entity. Alone. What have we learned about horror movies and Alone? As her shuttle approached the station, the docking bay activated and she proceeded aboard. Disembarking from her shuttle, she was stunned to encounter her long-missing mentor, Colonel Lighthizer, in a state of suspended animation before a mysterious doorway. The Colonel's vital signs were indicative of a deep state of hibernation with no brain activity, as if soulless. Just as she was about to investigate further, she suddenly felt as she wasn't alone. That was when the voices in her head started. Alien. And so we begin the game. So our objective is basically, these are the sectors of the ship. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth sector holds the Gatekeeper. We beat the Gatekeeper, we win. Lose conditions. The lose conditions are, if our memory, which is up here 1 to 14, if our memory ever hits 0, we lose we basically go insane and we lose the game. If our conscience dang it, why can't I say that word? If our conscience falls to 0, then we basically lose consciousness and we die and we lose the game. If we get dead-ended in one of these locations, we are trapped on the station forever, and we lose the game. And you'll see what I mean when dead-ended. And this was the main thing that a lot of people had problems with, is getting to different sectors. Some of them complain because of crapshoot. It's a big deck of cards that you go through to see if you could find those sectors. I had no problem getting through them. Matter of fact, when I did play this game, and Tiny was teaching me how to play it, after we got off our call, I got all the way to Sector 3 and then I had. But the game it's very easy to play, but it is a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game of the mind. This is the puzzle. And let me see if I can do that. So basically on this board, you've got weapons of sound mind, which is critical thinking, empathy, informed decisions, and reason. These are kind of your ways that you combat the psychic things that are happening in your head. On your scales of discipline, you've got judgment, conscious, and tribalism. Those fluctuate and flow, but if consciousness ever falls down to 0, past where it's no longer on this, you lose the game. You fall unconscious and you die. Then you have emotional defenses, like fear, sorrow, and anger. Monsters attack this stuff, and they attack it to knock you down. And if you don't have that ability, you can't do it, and then you're kind of screwed. But there are ways to play with this puzzle to really help you sort out what's going on with you, with Captain Otani. There's also this board over here. These symbols here are 5 different gatekeepers. And I'll explain as I play. When one of these fills up, we find out who the gatekeeper of the station is. This plays into replayability because you could be fighting the gatekeeper of hate this playthrough. The next time you play, you fight the gatekeeper of paranoia. And each one of them are different. Think of these as kind of like the ancients in Gloom and Killforth, where each of them are different, but you have to kill them to win the game, right? there's buffs and things that you can get to help yourself out. There are permanent buffs called these flares, persistent flares, that help you, that are up here. And then you have one-time use flares that are here, and you have I forgot what these are called torches. Then you have these torches that you can make use of that you find around the station as well. Okay? So that's what that stuff is. All right. So what we do, and this is where the setup comes in, is first thing, and I'm actually gonna go from left to right so you can see the build out. This is the space station, right? Think of this as the corridors and sections that you walk through, but this is the space station. So first things first is we have a kernel deck. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna shuffle this up. These kernel deck cards are boons that help you out as you play. They're just boons that can help you out, right? And you can play them at any time. You can play them, well, there's a certain step. There's an order of operation of when you play them, but you can play them as many as you have to be able to help you solve stuff. So we're going to shuffle these up. Now I like to shuffle for some shenanigans. And then we're just going to put it on the kernel deck slot. All right, these 4 areas here are mission cards. So you're on a mission. And I almost sang that song. And you're wishing. So these 4 areas here depend on where you find your mission card. There could be a mission in the northwest side of the station. There could be a mission on the southwest side of the station. It just all depends. So these are all the missions. There are 12 mission cards. When they run out, they run out. So you shuffle up the mission cards, and then you divide them into 4 piles of 3 and place them on those varying locations. How am I doing? How am I doing, Tiny? Am I doing all right so far? So we'll do, and I'll just kind of randomize them out here. So these are our missions that are here. Doing good. Awesome. These are our missions that are stacked here, and you'll see how we get these missions. Then we've got our sectors. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, and Sector 4. We start off in Sector 1. We start there. When we get to Sector 4, this marks the sectors. So when we get out of Sector 3 and go to 4, it's the final fight. Now, our monster deck is, and I'll have to break down the anatomy of these cards as we find them, because I don't want to spoil too much. But basically, there are 5, which are the 5 gatekeepers. There are 5 Sector 4 cards. 1, 4, 5. There are 5 Sector 3 cards, which we'll shuffle. You don't have to shuffle the Sector 4 cards, but you do have to shuffle the Sector 3, because this will let you know which Sector 4 card. You shuffle Sector 3. There are 5 Sector 2 cards. Shuffle those up. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Sector 1 cards. Should be 6 Sector 1 cards. Shuffle those up. And those are the monsters. These are the entities that you will find on the station attacking your mind throughout this game. Then we come to the lovely, lovely space station, which is this. We shuffle this up, and you can go north, south, east, or west as you walk through the station. This is the room that you're going to be in. So the active room you're in, north, south, east, and west as you walk through the different doors of the station that are available. Yeah, I'm gonna bend them only because I can't shuffle all these. It's just too much. Why it's an odd number? It's what was in it's what's in the PNP exactly. You shuffle these up, and I really am pissed at the dev who screwed people over. I don't like people taking advantage of my community. And yes, it's my community because I'm part of it, and I love you. And girl. Alright. So we shuffle those up. And then we basically, this is 80 cards. So we make 20, 40, 60, 80. Right? So, oh my gosh, why are they upside down? That's gonna make my eye twitch. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just make piles. of 20. All the way through. This is the part where I think people get upset because they're like, "There's so much room." And yeah, promise you, you've played games that are a lot crunchier. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so give these a nice little shuffle. We'll go north. Just a nice little shuffle. This. And you could just place these 20 however you want, right? There's no set to it. These are just the rooms that you're going to go. So, and then finally, all right. So, what you're going to do at this point is you're going to roll a die. Oh, yes. You're going to grab a die, and you're going to roll it. And you're going to add 45 to whatever you roll, okay? So, I got my die here, so I'm going to roll it. 2. So basically I add 45 to 2, 47. What does that mean, and why do I care? If you come down here to your board, you basically are going to spend that amount on these stats. So here comes the puzzle. So I have 47 points to spend. All right, well, these are the ways that I'm going to interact with the board. So I'm going to max these out at 5, 10, 15, 20. So I have 27 points left. Oh, look, I can't fill them all there. And remember, after you fill all this, you have to have enough left over for memory. And memory is how you do everything. So this comes the push-pull of how much memory do you want to start with, as well as how you want to juggle these. Now, the variant that Tiny made is that you can spend 5 of those points to draw 3 captain cards as your starting hand. The main game plays is you don't get anything. You just land on the station and you deal with it. But Tiny added a variant. We're not going to play with that variant. We're going to play with the main game, but the variant is there if you want it, and it is in the rule book. So I have 27 more points to play. I'm going to make sure 10 is spent on memory. Yeah. So I'm going to make sure 10 is on memory, which leaves me with 17 points to play with. Cool! So how do I do 17 points for this madness? Well, we know we need... we're going to go middle of the road, so let's say that this is 3. That's 14. 11. We'll do... What's that, 8? We'll do 8, 5, then we got 2 left. So anger will be at 2. I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed all the time. I'm just pissed. So that gets me that value. So this is my starting character. I've just built my starting character for you. So as you can see, you get to determine how you want to build your character. I did this over here, and you'll see why. But this is always a push-pull set. All right. Let's get into it. To start the game, we have to start at a room. We get to pick whichever direction we want. It doesn't matter. So let's just say the docking bay was on the west side of the station. So we'll flip this card over. When we flip this card over, we get 2 symbols. The first symbol you see here is attributed to the gatekeeper. So that means this is a cruelty symbol, as you can see right here, cruelty. So that means that there is cruelty on this station. How strong is the cruelty? Is it strong enough to be a gatekeeper? I don't know, but there's cruelty on that station. There is also this symbol here that's kind of see-through-ish. is a captain card. So I get to draw captain card. And my captain card says that I can either have emotional rescue, increase my emotional defense to 1 capacity, and get the symbol boost, or I can do a scale shield, 1 or. Shields 1 state of discipline from an enemy strike, and I get that prize. Okay? So remember on this, let me shift over here. If you look at those symbols that are here and here, see the symbol here? It's attributed to tribalism. So if I do an emotional rescue, I can increase 1 emotional defense. Well, emotional defenses are down here. And I can increase 1 of them to 1 capacity. Or, and I get a tribalism. Or if I do scale shield, I shield 1 scale of discipline, which is these 3, judgment, conscious, and tribalism, from an enemy strike, and I get this prize, which is sorrow. I boost that up. So I got that card. But this is where, so I've gotten whatever happened in this room. Now this room, if you notice here, these are the doors. I can either go east or south. So remember when I said if you get dead-ended, you're screwed? When you move through these, you can't go back. You can only move forward. So I'll put this here, and I'll say this goes into my hand. So I'll just put this over here. And now I get to choose where I'm going to go. And the game's not hard, right? Wait till I get the combat. So I'm going to head to the east. This is what hurts. You never know what you're going to get in this deck. Let me show you what I got. Let me show you what I got. Oh, I can head south, thank God. All right, so I head east, and I come into this room. And remember, where you came from doesn't matter because you can't go back. Where you came from doesn't matter. But you see this here, this purple room with this symbol? That means that if I spend this symbol, which is judgment, if I spend judgment, I can unlock this door, gain these 2 prizes. If I come over here, what this is I'm moving to the next sector. So, and you can't go back, which means I will be going to Sector 2 immediately. Sector 2 has harder bosses to fight. There's also this place where I can go south if I want to, so that's open. So that is my next zone. Well, far be it for me to trip out, so I'm going to actually spend a judgment. So I spend 1 judgment to unlock that door, and I get a torch 2. I get 1 of them, so I put it there. You can only have 2 max, right? So I get 1, and it says, if I sacrifice, this is a one-time use thing, if I sacrifice 1 weapon of sound mind, I can gain an emotional defense, or vice versa. Right? So if I sacrifice any one of these stats, I can gain one of these stats, or I can sacrifice one of these stats and gain one of these stats. That's what that means. Is this game making sense to y'all so far? Like I said, it's not hard, but I also get a captain card. I got Mind Shield. Shield you from 1 end. Oh, cool. And another emotional rescue. Wow. That works. Okay, so, and there's no hand size limit. I'm building up because I want to fight something. I'm going to head south. So we get to a green room. And you probably aren't going to see it great there, so let me zoom in. So I get to a green room. Right? Now, this green room has some interesting things going on about it. So you see this symbol here? These are quests. These are quests that I can get. So if you choose 1, you don't get all 4. You choose 1. So you can get, so this is a quest, and if you notice how it lines up, when I put it on here, look where the quests are pointing to. That's a quest from that deck. That's a quest from that deck. That's a quest from that deck, and that's a quest from that deck. So I get to choose which quest I want. So let's say we grab one from the northwest because we want a quest. I'll read what happens with green. So we got a mission. So our mission is, oh God, I hate greens. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. All right. So we got one of two things that we can complete. Remnants of the voices. So it's a challenge, but I could probably use what is in the remnants of the voices, unravel them, and then I gain all those rewards. All those rewards at the bottom I get. Or if I find remnants of mind maggot. What these are monsters. So basically this says that if I kill one of the voices, I get these rewards as soon as I beat them. If I kill a mind maggot, I get these rewards, and you only get one, right? So you can't get both. You only get one. So this is my mission that I'm now on, so I'll put my mission over here so I remember it. And then I pick a direction I want to go. Voices are stronger than mind maggots. Yeah, so you get some nice stuff. I'm trying to find a fight, so I'm going to head east again. Let me head north. Dang it, I can't find a fight. All right, so north is interesting, and I'll just keep zooming in here so y'all can see the cards. So north is interesting. I could unlock this door for this symbol, or I could unlock this door for this symbol, but I still get the same prizes that are in. And this is a 5er. This is a flare. This is a no. That's not a flare. That's a torch. Gatekeeper icons no longer give encounters +1 on their first attack roll. Oh, I want that. I have to lower anger to get it, or judgment. Anger or judgment. Both of them are at 1. Cool. Let's go with. Yeah, let's go with judgment. We'll lower down judgment, and we will unlock this door to get a flare 5, one of them. Sorry, you can't see that. A flare 5, one of them, and we get another captain card. So, Pet Cemetery or Highlight, whichever one we want to do, which is the captain. Captain cards, think of them as abilities that you get to use. So that comes down, and now I get to choose if I'm going to the west or to the south. Lovers go left, so let's do it. Okay. So this is interesting. So we have 2 more happening here. So let's take a look. We've got chaos, which is the first symbol. So chaos has shown up. And then there's still some more cruelty on this station. So cruelty goes to 2. If cruelty moves up 1 more, cruelty is our gatekeeper, and we'll take a look at him. But we also get another captain card. Not hard game to play, right? Then we get to either go to Sector 2 or keep going down Sector 1. I'm trying to find a monster to fight, but I can't. So I found tons of monsters when I played last time. Pet Cemetery card. Control 1 enemy sectors 1 through 3 for the remainder of the current sector. When you command it to attack, it hits the enemy for 1 strike, then unravels. Enemies all. Ooh. Really? I'm gonna enjoy that. Alright, you know what? I want to get to a Sector 1 fight so you can see what a basic monster looks like, but we're gonna go to Sector. Going to Sector 2. Automatically, I can go to Sector 3. So I go to Sector 2, and in Sector 2, I get a flare 5 that says allow you to travel to next 2 rooms without being detected. So that's how I could probably get out of a dead end. And another captain card, which is double tap for sharpened weapon. Cool. I'm not going to end the Sector 3 yet, so I'm going to head this way. And it's a green room with another mission. We'll grab this mission card. Mission card says, detonate a bug bomb. I'm certain detonate a bug bomb will yield great results. Do so, and I'll give you the remnants. So, or avoid being dead-ended. Accomplish this, and I will reward you greatly. I do have some awesome kernel cards. So I would love to use them. But I need to be able to find somebody. So I'm gonna head to the east. Jeez, I'm lucking out. You know what? I'm just gonna go all the way to the boss. Why not? Remnants of flares and remnants of the Cortex Killer. So I need to find a flare or a Cortex Killer. Head east again. Ah, finally found one. I found an enemy. Y'all will see how combat works. So first, we have to resolve this. Well, this looks like hate is on this station. So we put a marker for hate. And then we got to deal with the enemy. And what this symbol is... Yeah, I can adjust my mind traits, but I want to have a little fun first. So what this symbol is... Over here. Better. There we go. This is an entity. And we have to pull from the entity that the sector that we're in had. So we're going to come over here. Here. And we're not at Sector 1. We're in Sector 2. So we draw Sector card, Sector 2 card, and then we flip it over. And this is the reason why I didn't want to use the green screen, because this is going to get ridiculous. Okay, so anatomy of the card. This lets you know which sector you're in. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, and Sector 4. So this is a figment. Do I have a quest for a figment? No, I do not. No, I do not. This is how much times you have to hit this creature to kill it. I just have to hit it once and I kill it. But I need to be able to hit it with both those symbols to be able to do that. These are the symbols that are needed. If I beat it, I get this. This is the most spookiest card you've ever seen. Alright. When they attack me with these two. Okay, that's what they attack. Those are the... why did you blur? Those are the two symbols that they hit me. So they're going to hit my anger for 1, and they're going to hit my fear for 2 if they're able to hit me. Now, here's the important part. We'll put this down here because we're going to have to fight this creature. We have to deal with First Strike. What First Strike means... What First Strike means is we're going to roll 2 dice. Red for the enemy, blue for me. What you're going to do is you're going to... Yep, dice time. Tiny, I can't remember which one I count. Is it my judgment that I counted against? Is that it? Or is it my conscience? I can't remember. Oh, no, it's the symbol. It's the symbol. That's what it is. I remember now. I remember. So when I roll the die, I'm going to add 2 to that number for the enemy. And for me, I'm going to add whatever the symbol is, which is my anger, which is 2. So right now, my anger, which is that symbol, is 2. So I'm going to add 2 to whatever I roll, and the enemy is going to add 2 to whatever they roll. Gulp. So this is for First Strike. This is initiative. Initiative order. Grab this. That right there. Remember, blue is me, red's the enemy. Hey. All right. So we add 2 to this, which is 4. We add 2 to mine. +1 for the gatekeeper icon. Thank you. So we add 2 to this, which is 4. We add 2 to my 5, which is 7. And then we look at, is there a gatekeeper icon in the room? There is, so you give +1 to him. So his would be 5, mine would be 7. So I still win, which means initiative comes to me, and I get the fight. Well, I mean, I could just pet cemetery this bad boy right now. Control 1 enemy for the remainder of the current sector. I think I'm gonna... Do I want what you got? I'm supposed to show y'all combat. I could take control of him right now with the Pet Cemetery card. I really should. I think I will. I think I will because I need to raise anger. So I'm going to play this card because I'm going first, right? So I'm going to play this Pet Cemetery card that is for free. That will give me this symbol, which is anger, raise it up by 1. So my anger goes up by 1. I play this card to discard. And this becomes my friend. Hello. That's it. Because of the captain's card, I was able to beat him quickly. If I wouldn't, I would show you the mind puzzle that how this becomes. But let's move on. So we're gonna go to the east again. Green room. We're gonna grab another quest. Remnants of 46B or a violator. Okay. All right. Let's keep going that way. Okay, we got another enemy. Sweet, so we can do stuff. All right, so first we have to resolve the enemy. If I remember that correctly, Tiny, we have to resolve the enemy before. We have to resolve first strike before anything else. We have to spend a memory to attack. Yeah, we got to do first strike first. Okay. So we're going first strike. This lovely enemy that we're facing is a Korux. It's a Korux. Well, I just need to hit it once. It's a Sector 2 card. This is my prize. This is what I need to hit it with. This is what's going to hit me for. And it's adding a 3 against that symbol, which is my sorrow. So I have a 3. So it's a 3-on-3 for this attack. Or whatever. For come what may. So first strike. So I attack. I win that roll because I'm rolling well. There's no symbols in there to boost it, and it wouldn't matter anyway. And then my lovely friend is going to step into this, and it says for one strike, it attacks. You command it to attack. It hits the enemy for one strike and then unravel. So I win. I win both of them. That's amazing. So I just beat the enemy by throwing another enemy at it. I love it. And I get the prizes because they unravel. Well, a Korux, is that in my class? Nope. A Figment? Nope. So my prize is going to be those two symbols, which is Informed Decision, but I've already maxed out Informed Decision. So, and I didn't spend any memory. Yeah, if I had missions, that would have been amazing. My Informed Decision's already boosted up super high. I could spend I would have to spend the memory to spend an Informed Decision. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because I could do that to boost other stats, but I just won. I'm already maxed out. All right. So then I get one flare, one, and a captain card. Mind Shield and Lightheaded. Okay, so I've got a lot of cards that I have to keep track of. I got a lot of Mind Shield and Scale Shields. Sharp weapon. That'll work. Alright, let's tarry on. I'm going north. Tarry on! Let's get another mission. Because how many decks are here? Let's grab one. Grave Matter and a Vostok. Okay. And then we get a Flare 3. Ooh, that's a permanent. Grants 1 reason and increases your max reason to 1. So 1 reason. I'm already maxed out, but it increases it past 5 to 6. Oh, I beat the mission of not being dead-ended? Cool. So I will get a captain card for that. I will boost up my memory by 1. And I will... Those are already maxed out. So, cool. Alright. So, where am I going? I'm going north. I'm going to Sector 3. So let's go. More missions. Alright, we got some... If I find another Figment, I win. So we're in Sector 3 now. I'll go south. Wow, I am lucking out. I'm going right. I died so hard. Okay, there it is. Cruelty has gone up to level 3, which means our Gatekeeper is the Gatekeeper of Cruelty. Picture look familiar? So this is our Gatekeeper of Cruelty. It says Cruelty at the top. She is in Sector 4. I have to hit her 1, 2, 3 times, and I need to use these abilities to hit her, all 3. Now, what she's gonna hit if she gets first, when she attacks me, she's gonna hit this for 2, which is tribalism, that for 2, which is conscience, and that for 2, which is judgment. She's gonna get a +4 against my tribalism, so boosting tribalism to fight her is important. But that is our gatekeeper of Sector 4. Gatekeepers can actually, if I ever, as I'm going through the station from now on, if any of these other ones max out, she adds their ability on her card. So she gets stronger. So we have to get to her and beat her soon. All right, we're going to go north. There's my Sector 4 entrance to fight her. It's a green room, so let's play around with some stuff. I'm actually going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to sacrifice 1 weapon of sound mind for an emotional defense or vice versa. Let's do, doesn't hit empathy, does she? She doesn't hit empathy, but I need empathy to fight her, and I need reason to fight her, and I need sorrow to fight her. So I'm going to use informed decision down 1, boost my judgment up by 1. She's definitely going to hit me once. And I got a shield to protect me just in case we go fight. So we're going to go up, and it's a fun game for me. Out of 20 plays, I've never had same experience and had lots. Yeah. So I'm going to head north, and we're going to fight her. We're going to take her on right now. We're doing it. Boom, we're in Sector 4. We're taking on Idiom, the boss. We need to roll for, actually, I probably should have done another informed decision in that green room. Alright, so let's take her on. Fight to the death. First strike. She got a 3 and 4, which is a 7. I got a 5 and a 3, which is an 8. I win. I go first. Alright, so here's how combat was supposed to go, but I quickly made it through this game. The first thing that you have to do, no matter what, is you have to spend 1 memory. No matter what. 1 memory has to be spent. Then, on the weapons of sound mind, we need to determine how we're going to fight her. Well, I know I need to spend a reason. I need to spend an empathy. And I need to spend a sorrow to hit her. Do I have anything? I got another pet cemetery. I should have thrown that at her. I'm going to play Mind Shield to block her attack. Sure. It says shields you from 1 enemy strike, which will be the first one. So I'm going to play. So I need to play an empathy, a reason, and a sorrow, and I hit her for 1 damage. I hit her for 1 damage. So let me put this card here so you can see what's happening. So I have to hit her for 3. I hit her for 1. I'm then going to immediately play Mind Shield to negate her next attack at me. And that's going to give me, I can get 1 critical thinking can be sacrificed for 2 memory, or 1 critical thinking can be used to perform as many sacrifices as you want if I use this, if I do this. So I know I'm going to get a critical thinking. So I'm going to use a critical thinking to boost sorrow back up. And then I'm going to get the critical thinking back with this card. Boom. Discard. Round 2! Round 2, I'm doing pretty good. And I got, oh look, I got another Mind Shield card. Yay! So I'm going to spend another memory. I'm going to spend another reason. I'm going to spend another empathy and another sorrow to hit her for another 1. And then I'm going to play another Mind Shield card. Shields you from 1 enemy, and it's going to give me 1 informed decision. Boom. And then I'm just going to kill her outright. With spending this, reason, empathy, and the final sorrow to hit her for the final time. Yay! You lucked out! I did. And I won! And I won. I beat her. I beat Ghost Star. This is the first time I won. The last time I died in Sector 3, monsters like demolished me over here. And I think they knocked my consciousness down really low. So the game can be swingy because of the rooms that you walk in. For instance, let me see if I can find another monster. Oh, look. Next room I would have walked in would have been a monster. And that monster, let's say it's a Sector 1 monster. Sector 1 monsters only need 1 damage to kill. Sector 2 monsters need 2. Sometimes you have to hit them once, sometimes you have to hit them twice. Sector 3, you always have to hit them twice, but you need 3. And then these different monsters have different abilities that you have to deal with to beat them. So this idiom monster, which I defeated and freed the station and won the game. But if I was not fortunate enough to play through these, basically walking through the station, I could have been attacked, and that's when I have to. This is where Tiny was. This is where Tiny was like coaching me through the puzzle of this, because I was spending reason like crazy. I think I was down to 1 reason, and he was like, "Well, use a critical thinking to use a judgment to gain back a reason, so that you can then boost up your sorrow by lowering down your informed decision." And so we were playing around. I think when I died, I fell unconscious because the last monster beat me to bits. But this was a luck out session. When you rolled for a first strike, their ability should have been activated. I forgot to remind you. What ability did I miss? It says idiom extinguishes 1 torch per turn. Sure. 1, 2, 3. Cool. She's dead. It had it in red. So let me hold this up. That's the ability that Tiny's talking about. Idiom extinguishes 1 torch per turn. So she's also doing something terrible to you as it goes. And if you notice down here at the bottom, she gets worse. So she gets worse. So if hate would have been at max 3, it also would say you cannot use shield. So she would have shut down my whole way of beating her just now. If misery was up, she also would get this ability. So she keeps getting abilities until this stuff maxes out to 3. What did the regular... Oh, you're right. I did forget to do that. Let me see. I would have lost the torch. I remember what I rolled there. And there would have been no effect. That's what these 2 cards were. Nope, you were right. I forgot to do that. I did mess up on that. You wander the station a lot? Yeah. What Tiny's talking about, and this was something I missed in this playthrough, is if we'll zoom in here and take a look. Right. Let's see if we can make it focus. Okay, so right here, you see down here, whenever you roll the dice, I didn't have it wasn't on idiom. She didn't have one. That's the reason why I missed it. But when you roll the dice, these things happen automatically from the die roll. And every monster has one. This monster would have done this. It would have extinguished. Yeah, it would lose 1 torch, and then I would have acquired this monster. And then when I fought the other one, I would have thrown something at it, but it would have had no effect. So nothing would have happened. Oh, actually, no. It rolled a 1. I would lose 1 torch. I would lose another torch, and then I'd throw the enemy at it, and it would unravel. So luckily, in this playthrough, my screw up didn't ruin the game. And she would have taken a torch, but that didn't matter. I didn't have any torches to give at that time. I gave away the torches that I need to, and I won. And that's Ghost Star. It's not a complicated game. Yeah, it wasn't a game changer, but you do have to make sure you do these at the bottom, the dice stuff at the bottom. So if you saw that and you didn't make it this far and you're already typing in comments, Canje, you forgot to do that. I know, we caught it. But there are different rooms in here that do different things. As you can see, there are rooms that have 2 monsters in them. In every one of these, there should be monsters. Yeah. In every one of these, there's monsters. Monsters everywhere. Look at that. 2 symbols. Lots of symbols. But you saw some monsters in the beginning. More monsters here. So it's just I lucked out. I lucked the heck out. I should have been dead a long time ago. But I lucked out. And the captain cards really saved my bacon. 2 monsters here. And what's interesting about these monsters is that basically there's 2 monsters. If a monster then says like block and exit, and it's 2 of them, so it's block and exit, I lose the game automatically. So the game can be swingy. It can be swingy, as you can see with my luck of winning, or it can be swingy in the opposite direction where you lose really fast. But I think that's the beauty of this game, is that you never know what's going to happen, and your playthroughs will all be different. Anyway, that was Ghost Star. Hey, look, that's the monster I just killed. But that was Ghost Star. It's basically a game, a battle of the mind, and it should have been made. You should not have gotten ripped off. We should not have gotten ripped off. But that makes us want to be more vigilant, do our research, and let other community members know when something seems fishy, so we don't have to deal with it, right? So people don't lose their money and can catch these scam artists when they can. But that is Ghost Star. Thank you so much, Tiny, for putting the time in to get this stuff done. Thank you so much for your hard work of kind of getting and sending me. Tiny sent me this copy, so thank you for sending me this. And overall, just thank you for being awesome and getting this completed out. The files are in the description below. If you came in at the beginning and you don't see them, just refresh. Just refresh the page, and it should be there for you to grab the files, print them out, and play them. But it's there. I'm so sorry for everyone who got scammed by this jerk. And the least we can do as a community is just band together, print it out, move on. Let's play some other great games. All right. Okay, so I'm about to hit the road for Game of Palooza, and I will be. We'll probably play a game tonight. I should get in there probably around 7:30 my time. So I'm about to hit the road. I will be over there. So look at the One Stop Co-op Shop streamed channel for Steve to put up the playthroughs of what we're going to be playing. And I'm going to be playing a lot of board games this weekend. So we're going to stream a ton of it. There's going to be a lot of Marvel United. There's going to be a lot of other stuff coming. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Tiny, for being so amazing. Thank you, community, for being so understanding and banding together so that we can all be together when horrible stuff like this happens. I will see you all later. Safe travels to everybody. If you're in the path of the storm, be safe and drive safely and stay safe. And I will see you all, I don't know, Sunday? Sunday of what's coming up when I get back. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you to my Patreons, my YouTube subscribers. Thank you to the community for being amazing and being so accepting of to nerdy guy and his old 4 foot by 2 foot table and crappy cam. And I appreciate you so much. I'll see you all later. Take care, all right? Bye, everybody.